You're listening to RadioActive on 91.3 FM CJTR. With me right now, I got the Hourhand. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Hello. Pretty good.
So, you guys haven't been able to play shows in a while. We've been in lockdown for quite some time now. What have you guys been doing to keep yourself busy?
Well, we've pretty much just been writing songs like nonstop. That's what we've been doing. Not much else we can do. And I think we've been writing some of the best songs that we've, written to date. And I'm really happy with like how much better we've gotten at it, even in the last like 10 months with not playing.
Yeah, like I tend to notice how we kind of get sick of playing our own songs, and we push ourselves to write newer, better ones to replace the ones that we're kind of sick of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very nice vicious cycle.
Yeah. Well, the band goes back like 5 years, so like our oldest song is that we still currently play is what I am currently like what 4 years old. So after playing it live for 4 years, after a while, it's like okay, this like awesome song, and that's obviously why it stayed in the set list. But we're trying to write new stuff to like be better than the old stuff, to push out the old stuff and bring in more new material into our live set. So we're hoping to have kind of a revamped live set once we start playing shows again.
Right. And how has COVID kind of screwed up your music plans for 2020? Because I know you guys were supposed to be a part of the Queen City Rock competition.
Yeah, we've been trying to get into that for like 3 or 4 years, and every time it just doesn't seem to work for us at that moment.
We're cursed. We're not allowed to be in it.
Right. And you guys won that Battle of the Bands in Saskatoon a while back. That was in December, I believe. How's that for you guys to win it and be able to play with One Bad Son?
That was just like...
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That felt like we were really getting some steam. It was just, I don't know, it was really exciting.
Yeah, it's like we had a bunch of stuff like prepared to kind of go with the momentum, but it kind of got shut down with COVID. But it's like you can't be too down on yourself, because that's literally everyone in the world is going through the same thing. So
I kind of feel like it's just allowed us more time to just take a step back and just, I don't know, feel out our songs a little better and just, I don't know, write some better music.
Yeah. And you guys will... Or sorry, you go.
Sorry, kind of running back to your other questions, kind of ties into it. With how that One Bad Son gig went, we had a lot of momentum and steam coming out of that, especially because we did do 2 other shows. One show with, was it League of Wolves afterwards? Yeah, League of Wolves, and another show with the theyve. And I think 2 or 3 weeks after that show was supposed to be Queen City Rock. So we were coming into that with a lot of steam, being it was the first time we'd enter that contest. And then that all got kind of swept out from under us. And then we were kind of left with, first of all, we weren't able to play any shows, but at that point we weren't even able to practice in the same room. So we had to go from having all this momentum, all this steam, to kind of being dropped down to pretty much just 3 guys playing music in a basement. So we had to work our way up, just like getting new material, starting to hone in our set list again, so that once things do start opening up, we can really hit the ground running.
Yeah, and like you guys said, you waited a long time to be entered into the Queen City Rock competition. So how were you going about like practicing and preparing for the competition?
Like we, well, again, because it hasn't worked out for us. Like we haven't been able to enter it for like 3 years. We were the first band to enter. I think it was the first like 5 minutes that it was open for registration. I put us in, and they even I think they mentioned it on the radio the next day how they had. Well, we were that band that kind of jumped in the first 5 minutes they were open, but
yeah.
No, I think it was a 20-minute set list that they wanted you to prepare. So we had, I think it was 4 or 5 songs, and a short set list. So we were just like, okay, has to be perfect. We were kind of getting every little detail, kind of all fine-tuned, and then I think it was announced, like we got the email stating this was the time and date that you're going to be playing, and I think 2 or 3 days later it was, nope, whole thing's canceled.
It was like day before the first night, and
Yeah.
we were like the second or third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the day. Yeah, that's when lockdown happened. That's how I kind of remember it. It was just the day before Queen City started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then everything shut down.
Mhm.
And it's been a long time without live music. How excited you guys play with Weapons on November 6th?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better show to come back for. It's just like we wanted to kind of wait and feel it out until we could get, you know, a good band to play with, and Weapons is like one of the top bands in Saskatchewan right now. So it's just awesome that we could hook up with them.
And especially because we had just played such a large show in Saskatoon, kind of being able to come back and kind of not only get some more fans or get new fans, but also have some of the fans that we gained from that show with One Bad Son come out and kind of see us again, get to see what, like, from, what was it, December to now, how much we progressed as a band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do you think going into that show you're going to have more nerves, being that you haven't played in a while?
Like the first, okay, leading up to the show, and then the first two songs, yes.
Usually how it goes.
Yeah.
And what song are you most excited to play?
Oh God. See, that's the thing is I mean, like, what percentage of our set is completely new, like,
We got 3 or 4 new songs.
Yeah.
in the set
In a
currently?
45-minute set, so yeah. I would say personally,
But that's not all of them.
well, yeah.
No.
I'd say personally for me, it would be She's Taking Over. It's a song that we played when we did a live stream for Little Eve Studios. That seemed to go over really well with fans. Obviously, it wasn't live, it wasn't in front of fans, but it was re-recorded and then uploaded.
Yeah.
It was a live performance.
Yeah, live performance, but pre-recorded. But yeah, we got a lot of good reactions just from the video of that. So I'm really excited to see how fans react to it when we play it in front of them.
That's kind of like the biggest thing that I'm missing with our songwriting process, because so much of our process is like we write a song, then we go play it live and see how the crowd reacts.
Right.
And, like, adjust from that.
Mhm.
So not having that is just, I don't know, it shakes things up. I'm definitely excited to, test them out and see how they hit.
Yeah, because we rely, again, like, we rely a lot on the fans' reaction to the songs. And if we play them a new song and, we don't see or feel the magic, like, between the interaction between, like, us playing our instruments and the audience reacting, it's hard to tell what's working and what's not, and how we can change the music to kind of benefit the whole process.
Right.
And when you get a song that just works, you know it right away.
Yeah.
From the moment you get the downbeat on that one song, the whole crowd's bobbing their head, they're grooving to it. You just know, like, we just got like the right mixture of everything on that one. So.
Right. And back in March, you guys released your most recent single, Hobo in the Bowl. Did you feel like this writing process for the song was different compared to past songs that you wrote?
That one we kind of just boiled it down. We made it a little more like simple, to the point. We started off right away with vocals. We kind of just like, I don't know, trimmed the fat from a regular. That's the same we always like throw around, but like
trimming the fat. Yeah.
We just like condensed it down and just got to the point with that one.
It's really weird because that one, like, typically when we write our songs, we do them in batches. Like, we'll do like 2, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, usually 3. 3 is usually the most. We usually do 3 songs at a time on the go, and then once we get sick of those 3 songs, we'll write 3 more songs. It'll kind of all within themselves have like similar structure. Like, as musicians, when you're kind of like jamming something, when you're playing something on the go, usually refer to like only a few different types of riffs or like whatever you're influenced by, like in that moment. And in like these songs that are in groups of 3s, they all kind of share the same influences. If that makes sense. It might be a little incoherent or something, but
like with Hobo, we kind of like, there's definitely a Zeppelin vibe. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that comes through in the song, but it's definitely what is like an inspiration when we were writing it.
Oh,
It's like a
Yeah.
Zeppelin kind of like
It was really,
bounce to
it was really like that, but like that, yeah. Like Hobo was like the only, like we only did Hobo. It was like in that transition. That was like the transition song between like the Hourhand that we released an album in 2018 versus the Hourhand potentially releasing stuff. I'm not gonna say in 2021, but
Who
like
knows?
yeah, we don't know. Like there's no time frame. But we're working on stuff. So, but yeah, Hobo was really, in my eyes, the transition point. That was right there.
Yeah. And to you, what's your favorite part about being a musician? Is it the recording or the writing together or do you feel like your biggest payoff is playing live shows?
I think you're gonna get three different answers here.
Like for me, I just love like the songwriting and the recording. Like that's just what I like get the most out of. I still love playing live. It's its own thing. But like for me, the songwriting is what I just get the most out of.
And then like I absolutely adore the live stuff. I love designing a live show. Like it's a performance. Like you're entertaining people. It's supposed to be a show, and it's designing that show to flow is
Yeah.
like really my passion. Like I just love playing live. And yes, the songwriting is a lot of fun, but for me, it's definitely playing live.
Yeah, and for me, I would have to say I'll give a wishy-washy answer of it's I love everything, but it's more so that each thing has its own aspect of it that I really love. When it comes to songwriting, it's more so the collaboration between the three of us, bouncing ideas off each other,
The
kind of
jams.
jamming, getting to feel a groove between the three of us, and just woodshedding stuff. And then when it comes to the live music, that's more of an interaction between myself and Gray and Cole, as well as all the members, or sorry, all the fans, being able to feel the energy off them. As I mentioned earlier, when you have that song that you just know it clicks, you can feel the energy in the room and how everyone's just kind of just in the same vibe.
It's kind of like the start of Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you watch the live Forever, like our song Forever, it's unreleased. Kind of the live version is released, not a studio version. But yeah, that was at the One Bad Sun show, and that was videotaped. And it's just like the intro, how it's just so just large, and you know, it's
Open.
like the audience is like just like quiet, and like Gray's kind of soloing, and I'm just filling the room, and like
Yeah.
it's just yeah, no, it's when you've got the audience in the palm of your hand, those are the moments I live for.
That's kind of where it like all becomes one entity. Like the songwriting is used to like control the live show, so it all kind of like works together. And I don't know.
And like the more we realize that, the more we design the songs to kind of serve that purpose. Now when we're songwriting, it's not only are we trying to ensure that we're making a kick-ass song, but it has to serve its purpose in the live show as well, and that'll carry over onto the album. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're maturing as musicians and as songwriters.
Yeah. And who would you say some of your biggest music influences are?
Like lately,
Like,
it's
well,
been nonstop like Beatles for me. Like they're, Sgt. Pepper, Revolver era. I don't know. That's like some of the best songwriting that I always seem to go back to.
I would say I'm getting really into Zeppelin, like the voicings of way the way just the way Jimmy Page works and his note choice and everything is really definitely taking. Well, I'm taking influence from that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'd say for me, I have to also agree with Gray that the Beatles have been a huge influence for me, especially since we released our EP. I've always liked the Beatles, and I've listened to all their albums prior to that, releasing that EP, but I really started to get into it a lot more so after releasing that. And I found that Ringo is just such a great drummer in terms of he plays in the song, and just kind of finding myself in the song when we write is another big thing that I think with these new batches of songs we're going to be showing in our new live show. I think my drum part fits a little bit better. It's more so from a musician perspective rather than a drummer perspective. And And then another, I would have to say Led Zeppelin too. John Bonham, of course. Every drummer is influenced by him. And then all-time favorite, just throughout my drumming career, has always been Mike Portnoy. Just a killer drummer, monster behind the drum set. Have to take a lot of influence from him too.
I just want to add as well. I said Zeppelin. I also want to add to the list. I've been getting a lot of influence from Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, TV Shakedown. I love their songwriting as well as Dirty Honey.
Oh yeah.
God, I love that band.
Yeah.
And how did each of you start playing your instruments?
It's going to
I
lie.
mean, I don't know. My older brother played guitar, and it's just kind of like he played the guitar, I'm gonna play bass, and then I don't know. I started taking lessons on bass about 10 years ago, and just stuck with it.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'll try and keep it quick.
Yeah, that's gonna be my problem.
Well, it started off when I was 4 years old. I really liked Weezer as a kid. Like 4-year-old Cole just loved the song Appetite by Weezer.
Okay,
I would jump
yeah.
around with a plastic guitar playing Weezer with my dad. But my dad really kickstarted it for me. And I think when I was like 7 or 8, I started actually properly learning. And then from there, it's just like I found one influence that I really like one type of style. Obviously, there was a point where it was Eddie Van Halen, and then I just I had to learn everything I possibly could about Eddie, and rest in peace. And but yeah, no. And then it would just always be changing. I would always just find something that I really liked about a certain band or a certain musician, and I would just try and study it and learn how to do it and understand it. And then I met these guys, and then it just never stopped. So.
Yeah, and as for me, I had a cousin that played the drums, so I knew I started playing drums in grade 4, but I was probably like around grade 3 when I went over to my cousin's place and saw the drum set, saw him play it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta sit behind that. So I sat behind it, didn't know what I was doing at all, but I just tried to emulate what I saw him playing. And my mom and dad saw me playing it, and they're like, oh, well, maybe he should try out drums. So then they enrolled me in drum lessons at Long and McQuaid. Then realized how loud drums were, and but they saw how much I loved it, so they kept me in it, and I took drum lessons for probably a good part of 6 years, and then stopped taking drum lessons. But I still was taking courses throughout throughout high school in jazz band and in concert band, and that's actually where I met Gray. Was through the school band program. What was it? Upright bass was what you were playing in the concert band. Yeah. So and it ended up working out really well for how we ended up joining together as a band.
Yeah, and when did you decide that you wanted to make music and be in a band? Was there like a moment where you saw like a guitarist or a drummer or a bass player and you thought that you could do that?
It's just pretty much always for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
AC/DC was my first like love in music, and then like their live show, they're just like, I don't know, I was just drawn to like rock and roll, and it just looked like the funnest thing ever, and I was just pretty much always wanting to do it.
Yeah, like honestly, you could ask anyone in my family for as long as I can possibly remember. Anytime I was asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Literally, like from when I was like 4 years old till now, it's always been I want to be a rock star. I want to play in a band. I want to be a guitar player, and so that's all I plan on doing.
Yeah, and same here. Like ever since I was younger, I'd always play cover songs. For short stint, I was actually releasing them on YouTube. Hopefully, no one ever goes and sees them because they're terrible, just terrible quality.
Are those still up?
I think so. Oh, hopefully not. Oh, they're so bad. Yeah, I think I recorded it with like phone quality, but it was so old that even phone audio was terrible.
I'm pretty sure I looked up those videos, and it was like,
Yeah, you showed me them. Yeah.
I showed Cole, I was like, we gotta get this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I looked back at them like a year ago or something, and I'm like, I don't even, like, I was just like, these are terrible. I gotta put this down. but I think they're still up. Anyways, yeah, I played cover songs, and I was like, oh man, I can't really play in a band because I didn't know anyone at the time. So I was like, I guess I'm just gonna record myself playing and see what comes up from that. And I guess it ended up working out. But yeah, ever since I started, I'm just like, I gotta start playing with other musicians.
It's like it's a weird topic because like, talking about like how we all got in the band together is like, weren't you two in a band together before I joined?
Yeah,
because I've always thought of it as being like Gray and I, we did a rock band program, and then we were like, okay, we need a drummer. But I'm starting to think it was really you two were in a band together. You're like, we need a different guitar player.
I don't know. Honestly, I felt like I was kind of just like, I was kind of Cole in the back of my head, and also Dawson in the back of my head. And then I played with both of them in some different like facet. So then I just, I don't know, put it together.
I think you end up just being like, okay, let's just get the drummer I want and the guitarist I want, and let's just form a band.
So really, it's Gray. It's Gray.
Yeah, I think it came.
Gray's the Jimmy Page here.
I guess.
And you guys have played quite a few shows. Do you have a favorite band that you've played with?
Oh, sorry, you kind of cut out there.
You guys have played a few shows, like quite a few shows. Do you have a favorite band that you've played with?
Small City Blues and In Vertigo.
Deaf Idols too.
Oh, Deaf Idols, yeah. Sorry,
another.
And Brain Dead Romeo, that whole kind of group. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's well. Wait. Here, let me plug them. Love you guys. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, no. Small City Blues has been really good to us. We've played shows with them the past couple of years now. We go quite far back. Like I think I met Luke, their drummer, through when there was Saskatchewan Rough Rider drumline. Played with him for a while. And we were both musicians, played in two bands that had similar styles of music, and we just like, oh, we gotta play sometime. And we played a few shows over the year, and they've always just went well. Their fans seem to really like us, and our fans seem to really like them. So
it's just always a good energy.
Yeah,
playing with those guys.
Anytime I think of my all-time favorite memories playing music, like my number one memories, like that I like to reminisce on, it's always the shows that we're playing with personally for me, like I just love playing with Small City Blues. Mm-hmm. I love those guys so much.
Yeah, and if you could open for any artist or band, who would you want to open for, past or present?
Monster Truck.
Monster Truck.
Yeah, Monster Truck.
Yeah, they were such a big influence at the start.
They still are.
Mm-hmm. I think we covered one of their songs right when we started too. I think it was Righteous Smoke.
The first song we ever performed live as the Hourhand was Righteous Smoke by Monster Truck. Yeah, because that opened off our first song, or our first set. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. They kind of going full circle and playing with them would be, that would be.
Yeah. And as a band, what's kind of your ultimate goal that you want to reach?
To live off of playing and writing music. Comfortably. Living comfortably off of the music that we play and perform, or that we write and perform. Yeah.
I've thought about that question like a lot, but these days I'm just like, let's just see where it goes. Just reach for the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
Keep up on it every time we can and just see where it goes.
Yeah.
We can't really do anything else other than that.
Mm-hmm. I just have one more question for you guys. Okay. What is next for the Hourhand? Do you have any new music coming out at all? Or anything like that?
In the works for writing. We're just gonna I don't know, hype it up too much, but it's like I feel like we're really gonna work hard on this next upcoming album that we're planning and just put everything we can into it and get the best full length album we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we released the EP and we released a single, and now it's time to kind of set our eyes on a full length album. Especially now with COVID, because we have our first show with Weapons, as we mentioned earlier, but besides that, we can't really tour much. We can do the odd show here and there, but besides that, it's just writing. So we kind of have to have it so that once everything does open up, have an album just kind of sitting there so that we can release it, and then right away start touring.
Yeah.
And build up that steam that we had before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Like I think an album and a live show, they go hand in hand. I think constructing a live show will then, well, at least I think what we should do as a band, they should go hand in hand, is creating an album and then creating a live show out of that album, and then the album kind of sounds like the live show, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Like have that whole experience of our live show captured, obviously a little more polished, and put into an album. That's what I think we're on route to currently.
It's all one big elaborate art piece.
Yeah, all to sell T-shirts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We're just glorified T-shirt salesmen.
Thank you guys for doing an interview today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.